Okay, I was wondering if you could just tell us a little bit about your experience filming Miss Marvel.
Sure. What would you like to know?
Just how it was. It's a very different project, um, comics wise, or like we're seeing from Marvel. It's very different and one of my favorites.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that because it was definitely one of my favorite jobs ever and one of my favorite experiences ever. There's so many things I loved about about filming that show. Because there were no big names on it, it definitely felt like a giant labor of love from everybody. And Iman, who plays Ms. Marvel, so smart, so lovely, so talented, but also very much like she's number one on the call sheet, but again, very much we all felt like a team. It didn't feel like there was one person here and everybody else below. And as a result, there was this cohesiveness that I loved so much. Every single day, I was just excited to go to work. Because everybody was having a great time and everybody was there to create this new thing that the world had never seen before, even slightly different from the comics. And to do it in a way that was the story was painted on the canvas of a culture and of a demographic. However, that was just the canvas, it wasn't the story, right? I'm gonna butcher this analogy now that I've started it, but as a result, like, we got to tell this beautiful story of a coming of age, of a stepping into her power, that just, and she just happened to be from this culture, and that is what informed a lot of her life, but not necessarily her decisions. And yeah, I loved every minute of it. Still friends with folks from the cast, with Sana, who created it, all like, it was a special, special, special time.
I just want to go back to the Critical Role stuff because
Go for it.
A very abstract question, but then so you said you were a fan of Dungeons and Dragons when you were younger. What would be your favorite class and why?
When I was younger or now?
Now.
Okay, so this is a very tough question.
I know. Sorry.
No, because I'm very bad at picking favorites in general. I can pick my favorite human and my favorite dog, and after that, it's very difficult for me to pick my favorite anything. But so far, the favorite that I have played has been Monk, because it's that wonderful combination of being able to fight and also being able to use magical abilities and whatnot. That said, I'm really excited. I have a barbarian character coming up that's not on Critical Role, but I have a barbarian character coming up on a project called Prog Core that we're working on. It's a bigger world building thing. And I'm looking forward to being the tank because I am 5 feet tall, 98 pounds, soaking wet. Being the tank is like my lifelong dream. You know, I used to watch American Gladiators when I was a kid. Like, I really thought that I could do that. So I'm very excited about playing a barbarian. I think I love playing druids. And to date, I have never played a sorcerer, wizard, or warlock. So I have a feeling once I pick one of those, the toothpaste is not going back in the tube because I'm going to really enjoy being a spellcaster. So as you can see, I can't pick a favorite anything, basically. But I do like that the monk had so many upgrades in the 2020 in the new player's handbook and the new Dungeons and Dragons rules. So I'm looking forward to revisiting that now that those changes have been made.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
You have quite an interesting selection of sort of guest roles on TV shows. Just looking through, like, Young Sheldon, SWAT, Runaways. You did a few episodes on 911 Lone Star, Blacklist, Blind Spot, and Sopranos as well. I mean,
that was my second television job ever too.
Wow,
crazy, right?
Have you got any particular memories of any of those particular shows or any stories?
So many.
Modern Family as well, I forgot.
Yeah, so many great stories because every set that I have worked on, it's been remarkable to me, and it shouldn't be remarkable now because it's happened so many times, but so many, you hear so often, never meet your heroes, and my experience has been completely the opposite of that. anytime I've met someone that I already admired in the public eye, they turned out to be lovely. They turned out to be generous and inviting. And on all of the sets that I've worked on, that's been the case. The Sopranos was absolutely no different. I mean, they were at the height of their fame. It was season 6 that we were filming. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, unfortunately for the episodes I had, Jim Gandolfini was in a hospital bed and couldn't actually talk, so we didn't get to have moments of conversation. But again, even he was so welcoming. Edie Falco was so welcoming. The moment that I actually remember, or the experience that I actually remember the most was from a smaller show called Kevin Probably Saves the World,
Yes.
with Jason Ritter, who is one of the kindest, funniest, most hardworking people you will ever meet in your entire life. And the show itself, the episode itself, was super fun. I got to play this woman who had a limited time on the planet because she knew that she had cancer, and he encouraged her to really live it up during the time that she had. And so, you know, we went and toilet papered a house, and he did all sorts of crazy stuff together. And this memory that I have is so simple, but he was sick, he had bronchitis, and he was still working. He was working himself, like working like a dog, and we were shooting this scene, and it was a night shoot, and we kept having to go, when between takes, we would go into the little house where we were shooting, and we just sat there watching the Carbonaro Effect and chatting it up. And this guy who was the lead on the call sheet, which sets the tone for every set that you're on, despite being sick, despite being tired, was so funny, was so welcoming. We had such a great time, and to this day, every time I see him, is just the warmest person. And I carry that with me a lot, because not only was it fun to shoot, it was fun to be on set. And that for me is a really important thing, because you're spending a lot more time on set than you're actually shooting.
Yeah.
So, that's definitely a core memory now. You know, how often do you get to toilet paper a house and put peanut butter on someone's locks and, you know, do all sorts of stuff with that? But Jason is that's a great, for sure.
I think we've probably got time for one more question.
Thank you.
If you have them.
Okay, so we've established you've been in a whole bunch of like guest roles on TV shows and stuff. If you could pick one, and you've been in the MCU as well, if you could pick one TV show, franchise.
Oh, don't make me pick one. It's like picking your favorites. It's like picking your favorite child.
So, I mean, can be something historical that's not airing now, or something present day. Or
I mean,
some genre
I
you've
would
not
have
worked in.
loved to be on Peaky Blinders. I don't know where they would have put me, but Aunt Polly, and God rest her soul, Aunt Polly was one of my favorite characters of all time. In fact, I based my character in Candela Obscura, one of the other series that I did with Critical Role, was sort of an homage to Aunt Polly from Peaky Blinders. So I love her. Really, anything that lets me be sort of a badass action hero right now. I feel like I haven't. That's one thing that I haven't yet had a nice long experience with. So I don't know what the plans are for The Last of Us, because obviously there are some things that happen in the game that make the story a little bit harder to move forward. But that would be great. I'd love to be on Fallout. I would love so much. Not just because I was in the game, but I just love the world. I love the world that they've created there. I'm trying to think, like, there are a million shows right now, and I can't think of any of them because now you've asked me the question, and I'm going to think of it at 3 o'clock in the morning and be like, I want to be on this show, and I wish I was. Anything in the Star Trek universe, too. Awesome. For sure. Anything in the Star Trek universe. I feel like I'm more of a Vulcan. I've been told I'm more of a Romulan. I don't think that's a compliment, but I'll take it. Anything on the Star Trek universe, for sure.
Amazing. So I think
And a couple of photos.